Hey guys, we are back with another round of questions. A couple of these are from last week, and I will start with the one that I forgot to answer, and that was, do you have any children or just pets? I actually have 3 kids. I have a 23-year-old son, an almost 18-year-old daughter, and another 16-year-old daughter. So yes, lots of kids and lots of pets. Anyway, how long does a lizard live? So personally, I have noticed a decline in bearded dragons' age. The pet stores and online and in books and everything, they'll say that bearded dragons can live up to 15 years. I've noticed a decline in the past several years, and I'm seeing bearded dragons live between 5 and 10. Hopefully with more education and proper care and just, more creators and reptile enthusiasts getting out there and sharing how to build a proper lizard enclosure, and then less breeders that don't know what they're doing would be nice. Maybe we'll see bearded dragons' lifespan tick back up in a positive way. Femoral pores, how to care for them. So much conflicting information online. Yes. So male dragons especially need more attention with their femoral pores. What I do for Samson is I provide him a lot of rough surfaces in his enclosure. He gets soaks in the tub. They'll take care of it themselves as long as you provide them with rough surfaces, rocks, sticks, slate. They need that to just rub down that waxy substance that is on the little bumps that are on the backs of their legs here. Lewis's are very tiny and has never had any issue with it. Samson's also not had an issue. It's just that his are more apparent. They're like larger. And so it's something, I keep an eye on, but he does never had like clogs or anything like that. If you do have that issue, I would recommend going to the vet. I don't really give out medical information because I'm not a vet. Does your bearded dragon head bob? Ours is 1 year old and we've never seen him do it. So yeah, almost all of my bearded dragons head bob, even Betty. The only time Betty has ever done it is when she's gravid. Lewis does it during mating season. Samson does it year round, every single day. I don't know if he loves it or he's just the most dominant dragon in the world, but he's a big fan of the head bobbing. What do you think is the perfect flooring for bearded dragon's cage? So, I love bioactive. I think it's super cool. I think it looks cool. There's a lot of enrichment opportunities with bioactive. However, it is just not something that I'm able to provide. I have had many lizards come through my house as rescues, and they all seem to come just riddled with parasites, and it's dirty and it's very difficult to take proper care of a parasitic ridden dragon if they have loose substrate. All of my dragons are in 4x2x2 Zen habitat enclosures, and each floor has what is their Zen mat, and it's a very smooth surface. It's easy to clean, steam clean. You can just wipe it down, and that's been the best thing for my household with as many rescues as we've had. So that's what I recommend. If you're going to be going that route, if you have the ability to provide bioactive, obviously that is really, really kind of spectacular. Samson is so energetic. Was he like that as a baby too? Does he ever get lethargic in winter? Yes, Samson is super energetic. He is a ball of fun. He has been active forever, as long as we've had him. We got him just under a year old, and he was a little firecracker back then, and he remains very busy and energetic to this day. Even though it is winter and he has slowed down like a little bit, he still has spurts of energy daily and tries to bite my feet and head bob at the UPS guy and garbage truck and whatever else drives by the house. He's kind of like a guard dog. Which of your dragons is a night owl and which is the early bird? Well, Lewis is the early bird. Lewis is the first lizard that gets up every day. I have noticed recently that Winnie is also getting up on like a little bit of an earlier schedule. Betty about a half an hour to 45 minutes after Lewis, and then Samson is the laziest. Betty stays up the latest. Samson puts himself to bed, but not in his enclosure. He's out in the heated window bed in the evenings, and he actually like climbs down. There's like I have a big like pillow that's to, catch them if they fall off the windowsill or something, but he kind of plops himself down onto the top of that pillow, and it's like right below the windowsill like ledge, and it makes like a little cozy cave, but he likes to fall asleep like that every night. Lewis goes to bed around 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I mean he's just out. You just wrap him up in a blankie and he falls asleep, and we put him in his enclosure and close the curtains. Winnie is in her little cozy little like bed cave. It's like a dog bed or maybe a cat bed, I don't know, but she likes to go into that and she watches TV on the couch. So does Betty. Betty will be in Lewis's bucket in the evenings where the heater pad is, and she's positioned so she can't see Winnie because Betty would like to eat Winnie given the opportunity. This question I'll have to rephrase, but do my lizards mate? And that is a big no. I don't allow my lizards to interact at all. Samson would probably really like that, but we're not going to give him the opportunity. That would be kind of mean. I think he would be a violent partner. So no, I'm not interested in breeding or anything like that. Are they expensive to keep? Yes. No. Yeah, kind of. I mean, if you want to set them up with like the perfect proper enclosure, and get them to the vet and do the blood tests and the ADV tests and calcium levels and everything under the sun, and ensure that you're providing them with like the best lights and everything, then yeah, it's like $1,000 to get a lizard up and off the ground. That's pretty much what I tell people. Like maybe you can find a Zen habitat or something on Craigslist, but you're still looking at around $700 with everything else. They have to have UVB. I provide, the highest quality bulbs I can find, which at this time is the Arcadia products. I also have LED tube lights. I have LED spotlights. I have a solar meter so I can measure the UVB output and ensure that they're getting the proper amount of those, that exposure. And then, heat monitors, temp guns, and slate basking areas, and caves, and substrate. Electrical bills, I would assume that, it contributes to that, but I've had lizards for so long that I don't know what a regular electrical bill looks like, what it would look like. So I can't really tell you the cost breakdown on that. It's been 7.5 years of owning dragons, multiple dragons. So yeah, I'm sure that our electrical bill would probably be a lot less without them, but then my life would be boring. So to get a lizard off the ground and in the proper tank with the right lights and all of the top of the line stuff and all the special greens, like I said in the last video, I get all of my reptiles greens at a local, like cooperative grocery store that buys from local farmers. So yes, I pay a premium price for their produce, but I'm also giving them a premium product, which means that they're going to have the best opportunity to have the healthiest food. So, you get what you pay for. You want to provide them with the healthiest bugs, and you want to make sure your bugs are eating the best stuff. So, circle of life, we just, what you put in is what you get out. So if I put in the best, then I am giving them the opportunity to be the best. And I don't think there's a price tag that you can put on that. So yeah, it is more expensive that way, but in the long run, I am having less frequent trips to the vet. I'm noticing healthy, happy dragons, and I can sleep at night because of that. So they aren't cheap, but nothing is, like, in this economy. So anyway, I think that was it for